Doma Sports Talk worldwide with some news from the world of boxing. So y'all know what time it is. You ain't in a rush to get concussed. Now, super middleweight boxer Billy Joe Saunders used to be middleweight champion. Billy Joe Saunders in the news for a little domestic violence issues, right? And it's small ones, but it's still something that happens, and you gotta be careful. He was in a video and he was telling you how to beat up your wife. He said in the times that we're living in right now, we're at home, people get on your nerves, which could possibly happen. But he went too detailed in video. You know how everybody nowadays is, you video on everything, right? So he's in the video, and he says a couple of quotes. He said, if your woman is giving you some mouth and she's coming at you, spitting a little venom in your face, he says, then you got to finish her off, hit her on the chin, and then finish her off, you know. And that's not too cool to be out there saying. Now he's probably was saying it jokingly. I haven't seen the video, but you got to be careful what you're saying. Now Billy Joe Saunders has history with filming himself doing some kind of suspect things. I'm saying it mildly. The video about paying somebody to do something that they shouldn't have been doing. Things like that. We ain't gonna try to get in on Billy Joe Saunders, but bottom line is, hey, look, don't ask y'all to do nothing but that. Go get the book on Amazon, Slapped about domestic violence. See, the thing, um, put in Doma and then Slapped or Slapped and Doma, and you get the book. It's about domestic violence. Wrote it a few years back, and it's about little issues and a lot of things that happen in domestic violence. Back I was writing it then. It just happens. Domestic violence is an issue. Now, he's out there making jokes about how to beat up your wife or whatever, how to finish her. He's a boxer too, so he know how to finish her, right? But the key is sometimes things are more profound than that, right? And that's things in the book I don't want to go into it. Go get it, right? It's on Amazon. But the bottom line is this, you know, if I can make another sport analogy, Kobe Bryant. Kobe Bryant when he hit his 81 points. Right? Going basketball for a minute, guys. When he hits 81 points, because it's something that irks me. One of the best things about them 81 points he hit against Toronto, 81 points in basketball is a lot for people that's not into basketball. It's a whole lot to be hitting in one game. It's second of all time behind Wilt Chamberlain with 100. So make sure that's clear so you can put it in perspective. But the best thing, not the best thing, but one of the best things for me watching a lot of basketball didn't even happen on that night. It happened about 3 weeks prior when they beat Dallas. They beat the Dallas Mavericks. After 3 quarters, Kobe had 62. The Dallas Mavericks had 61. Lakers were winning by about 19 points, I'm thinking. So Phil Jackson just left him on the bench in the fourth quarter. Now, if I was coaching that team, that I wouldn't have done that. Because at that point in the third quarter, this is legendary. He got 62 now. Hey, I'm going to the other coach. I think it was Don Nelson. Look, man, hey, y'all try to defend him or whatever, but this could be legendary. I'm telling my people on the bench that normally this would be a little bench time for Kobe. No, I'm going to put him on in here because this is legendary. We're going to let him break something tonight. If it's just Laker records or whatever, or something. Or if he's just shooting up and the game gets a little crazy, then I'll pull him out. But if y'all not stopping them, then that's y'all problem. Y'all got all these defenders out here, right? With some stuff, some defenders there. Plus Dirk Nowitzki's on that team. I would have let him do that because that was, awesome that night and historical. And I think everybody in the whole arena wanted to see what Kobe do on that night, even the fans. So bottom line is when Billy Joe Saunders is talking like that, it's just not the key is he's feeling comfortable talking like that, which means his environment could be like that. And the people he know could be like that because it doesn't bother him to say things like that. And that is in like the first chapter of that book keep talking about, right? Same thing. And when you start getting it from a different perspective and you start seeing it, because bottom line is when people talk like this all the time, most of the time you talk like, yeah, I beat the mother, I beat her, blah, 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 then people are kind of condoning it by not saying, well, whatever with you. I don't agree. You do your thing, but I don't agree and you shouldn't do it. You know what I'm saying? But then sometimes it's not comfortable. You like, well, I ain't gonna say nothing. There's 5 people standing here. I ain't gonna say my opinion. That's the problem. So, let's see. I mean, he's come back with Joe and he's apologized for it. Says he doesn't condone violence. I think he has a sister or somebody or a daughter or whatever. One of them where he would be mad if somebody touched them. Exactly. Exactly. If you be upset if somebody touched them or did something wrong with them, or a lot of guys, a lot of guys. Think about it. We call ladies, give these ladies these names. We give them names. I ain't gonna go into a label. We call them names, disrespectful names. But what do you like somebody in your family to be called those names, including your mother? You know what I mean? Start thinking like that, then you just respect will just start bouncing back and forth, right? This is things, simple things like that we're talking about. But as far as Billy Joe Saunders is concerned, he has to really be careful. I mean, he's done a lot of things like this before, and the doping in boxing. Luckily, he's into a big fight against Canelo because people keep looking away. He's lucky, and I think what has to happen if you want him to change his behavior, then you would have to make him pay for his behavior in terms of having to deal with consequences. If you don't have to deal with consequences, then basically you're nurturing that behavior. But I think everybody knows that. Let's see what Billy Joe goes with this. Hopefully, he really feels bad about doing this. And let's see what happens going forward. But keep your eye on domestic violence. I mean, we got a whole lot of problems right now. And that's just one of them. But that one's one that we can eradicate. So let's keep it up. Doma Sports Talk worldwide. And I'm up out of here, y'all.